A very special version of the new M3 Coupe comes from the small town of Dietenhoven in the north of Bavaria. The town near Nuremberg has a population of just about 6,000, and yet annually more than 4 million vehicles are delivered from here, although all a bit on the small side. Since 1978, Herpa miniature models have been produced here. For many years, BMW novelties have been developed in the small scale in cooperation with Herpa almost simultaneously with the originals. Today we'll see the formative stages of the new M3 Coupe from another perspective, in the 1:87 scale in Herpa's production facility. The first stage of the new BMW is Herpa's design department. Using ultra-modern software, designers downsize the original data from BMW's design department for the 1:87 scale. Simply making the pieces 87 times smaller just doesn't do the trick. Windshield wipers, logos, and distinctive details would either not be recognizable or technically infeasible. Here, the designer has to step in to develop individual pieces almost from scratch. The computers in the design department are directly linked with mold construction. When a mold is finished, a special copper stamp is milled. The machine doing that works fully automatically and even changes tools itself. When the stamp is finished, it is mounted in this machine. During electric spark machining, high voltage runs through it to anneal it to its later mold. It works almost like pressing an office stamp into modeling clay. It just takes considerably longer. Sparks are hardly to be seen during electric spark machining. A special water bath takes care of that and also provides additional cooling to the steel piece. It takes up to 10 weeks to complete a die mold. Then it is transferred to the die cast department and is aligned in the machine. The synthetic granules are heated and pressed into the mold by air pressure. The finished piece is briefly cooled and then ejected. Then, directly at the machine comes the first check. Only flawless pieces continue on their career. Even the slightest scratch sees to it that a piece is rejected by the experienced staff. Defective parts will be ground up later, and a 20% recycled fraction is again used to produce new models. This machine takes care of assembling the wheel sets. Here, the individual components are pneumatically pressed together and ejected when assembled. The finished wheel sets now go to interim storage. They are already finished for assembly. The rest of the small BMW, however, is still far away from that. The M3 chassis have meanwhile arrived in the paint shop. Here they are mounted on special brackets to receive the same metallic finish in the varnish machine as their big brothers. After 3 varnishing processes with metallic and clear varnish, the pieces are allowed to rest a little in an oven. At 50 degrees, the paint hardens, allowing the pieces to move on to the next department. In the so-called pad printing process, the pieces are now imprinted. The graphics are assembled by this silicone stamp in every single base color for recreation on the chassis. This way, even the smallest parts can be imprinted authentically. The BMW logo is hardly visible with the naked eye, but with a magnifying glass, not only the perfect prints, but even the imprinted letters are visible. Individual assembly groups like rear view mirrors of the model are additionally refined. A chrome foil is vaporized onto the surface with a hot stamp, resulting in the mirror matching the original exactly. The radiator grille and the exhaust receive their gleaming look the same way. Almost all Herpa models are assembled by home workers and only come back for final inspection. After this last scrutiny, the new BMW M3 Coupe is ready for dispatch in the small scale. Just like the big archetype, the small collector's item will also win fans worldwide. After all, it is a genuine BMW, only 87 times smaller.